Look, Twilight, and I'm supposed to start this sketch by asking you about the fact that you're alone again in your castle and that you wanted to waste a minute of our time bitching about it. But how would we skip that?
Like we still have a choice now that you lampshaded it. Okay, then fuck our intro. And what else do we start it with?
I don't know, I was just thinking about that other sketch where you mentioned all those unnamed background foes.
Yeah? What about that?
Well, you said you wanted to draw them together in one place, and for that you meant to open an orphanage. Did you ever follow up on that?
What a stupid question, Rainbow Dash. Haven't you watched Duck's documentary? Dam and Tiara confirmed that Twilight already set her plans in motion.
Stuff like anyone even watched it that far.
Yeah, but to cut things short, I did, Rainbow. I simply seized the Ponyville orphanage and rebranded it under my name.
Okay, now since this is obviously the topic Robotus wants us to discuss, how's it going with that?
Oh, not so good, I'm afraid. At first it seemed like a wise decision financially to just use a pre-existing building for my purposes, but I had to realize that Ponyville apparently didn't have nearly as many orphans as I intend to lodge.
What does that mean?
It means that there simply isn't enough room there for all the foals to be housed. Right now, most of them are forced to spend the nights on the floor in the dining hall with little more than blankets to warm them.
Pardon my bluntness, darling, but why do you even care about that? Isn't that mainly the orphanage's employees' problem?
I care because that orphanage has my name on it. Everything that happens to those fools is gonna come back to me.
You just had to name the place after you, Princess.
Of course I had to. That's the only reason I'm doing all of this. How else would I have been able to snatch all the positive PR this act creates for me? But it'll only then stay positive if I find a way to fix these grievances.
Well, you better get to it then. How about you just expand the building, make some more rooms for the ponies? It's not rocket science, Twilight, really.
Yeah, I've also been that far. And how are we gonna finance all that shit?
I don't know, maybe like the Equestria State Treasury? I mean, what the fuck do we all pay taxes for? Besides for you to get to neglect your duties for months.
Yes, that's genius, AJ. I just have it financed by the ponies.
It's entirely the opposite of what I meant.
I know, but that's not gonna work, unfortunately. Equestria's government funds are pretty depleted because of all the damage the collapse caused. We need new money in either way, but I won't be so stupid as to just claim a new tax or something. After all, this entire thing serves only one goal, to raise my ratings among the ponies of Equestria. And every pony hates taxes, so that would be the worst thing I could do.
Well, you're gonna have to do something along those lines. I mean, the ponies will hardly just give you their bits.
On the contrary, Fluttershy, that's exactly what they're gonna do. I'll just claim it's all for charity, which isn't even a complete lie. I mean, the funds are going to change the lives of those fools for the better.
I don't know. Do you really think that's going to work?
Of course, just think about it. If it's for a good cause, ponies are much more lenient with their money, especially if they get to look like good Samaritans amongst their acquaintances.
I still don't see it, darling. I, for one, would never waste money on something as menial as charity, or the betterment of pony kind.
Yeah, well, that's not what this is about anyways. Why would you instead spend money to raise your own status in your environment?
That's no question, Twilight. I have done so in the past. How else do you think I became the leader of the CCC? All right, from that point of view, I do see the appeal. However, not all ponies are as engaged with their status in society as I am. There are those in Equestria who couldn't care less about what others think of them, maladjusted as that sounds. How are you going to get their money?
Maybe we can motivate them by offering some sort of small reward in return. Yeah, we'll just let each donator get a golden badge that reads, "I saved lives." Even those who don't give a shit about their status or a good deed would still want to miss out on getting a free trinket. Especially not if every pony also has one.
In general, that's not a bad idea, but isn't that also gonna cost a lot of money to make that many badges? Of gold, nonetheless?
Oh, please, Rainbow, like I was actually gonna use real gold for that shit. Are you crazy? Nah, it's just gonna be gold-plated. Yeah, I know, even those are gonna be expensive at high numbers, but I'm sure we'll find an agreeable solution, won't we, Rarity?
Are you referring to what I think you are?
I fucking hope not, Twilight. Fuck, what the hell's coming in here? So you also want to profit on rarities, child slaves in Nigeria? You really gonna stoop so low? Seriously, I'm real disappointed at y'all. I thought you were better than that.
Hey, it's just a logical decision. Don't pretend it's not. Those fools are enslaved either way. Whether I give them this assignment or not won't change anything about their lives. So why shouldn't I profit from it?
'Cause it's wrong and morally despicable.
So is supporting any other brand that relies on child labor and extortion. It's just the way the world works. You can cry about it and boycott their shit, changing nothing at all, or you can just accept it.
Jesus Christ, Twilight, it's moments like this where I don't know you anymore. You can be real glad we're friends and therefore somewhat loyal to y'all, 'cause if all that sick shit were to come out, you'd be the next princess in line for exile. On the other hoof, all that shit don't concern the ponies here in Equestria, and like y'all said, it's some basically everyone's stew in one way or another. Chances are he ain't gonna mean shit.
Very good. Now that we got our morals straight, how are we going to fare with payment? It is going to cost you something, I can tell you this much already.
Really? But isn't that like the whole appeal of outsourced labor? You don't have any salary costs.
Sure, but why should that mean that I lower my prices? It's simple economy, darling. Cheap production, high sales. At high prices.
All right, then I guess the ponies are gonna have to donate even more.
Wonderful. Oh, and by the way, no need to rush the payment, Twilight. Before we do that, let us wait until this charity thing is well on its way. Because I intend to not only benefit from this transaction financially, but also reputationally. Once everything is set in motion, I shall be approaching you, along with a bribed journalist who's going to take a picture of me receiving the big sack of bits I demand the payment in. Then he'll proceed to write an article about me in my own public spirit, making that photo look like I'm the one giving you that sack for the nation. That way I'll also myself get a nice little PR boost, which as a Canada pony you can never have enough of.
Alrighty, y'all do whatever the fuck you want, you morally bankrupt crooks, but I ain't giving you shit, Twilight. Not just 'cause I don't have that much money either. But in general, ever since the whole Pony2012 affair, I've been real cautious about them charity events.
Ah yes, Pony2012, that wakes memories. One of my finest scams, I must say.
Wait a minute, you were behind that? Are you fucking kidding me? You know how much money I put in there?
Why yes, and your donation was very much appreciated.
Now, hold on. So are you telling me that on top of that diamond mining camp with child slaves, you also have a child army?
No, don't be ridiculous. Those fools in the advertisement were the same ones that worked my mines. I simply put them in uniforms and had Juniper Montos film some scenes for us. The pony version, mind you. She, of course, thought it was for a movie, which the kind of it was, but just know what she thought. And yes, that investment very much paid out for me in the end. Literally. Oh, come on now, again with those looks of shock and disgust. I didn't even think it was possible for you to be fazed by my absolute lack of morality anymore. Just look at it from this angle. For the time of the film shoots, my workers basically have vacation. So every pony gets something out of it. Quite unfortunate that nowadays a scam like that doesn't work nearly as good as it did back then.
You mean 'cause ponies ain't so stupid anymore to believe everything they get told?
Oh, no. The problem is that at this moment there are actual pressing troubles in Equestria. The aftermath of the collapse, for example. There's still a lot of destruction and despair it caused. The moral need is simply met.
Okay, but do you think that might interfere with my orphanage plot?
No, I don't. After all, that is also a real problem, plus it is way closer. And if you can choose between supporting something far away and something nearby, you choose that which you can see first off. The cost for renovating and expanding a single building are also going to be quite a lot less than the repair of entire destroyed city districts, which in turn would incline the ponies to donate even more money.
Say, when you mentioned the collapse, something came to my mind. When Starlight came back to Ponyville, didn't she say something about fixing some of the damage it caused? And secondly, what she also said in that episode, wouldn't it all be way easier to just have her use her TARDIS magic on the orphanage?
You know, this is actually a very good point, Fluttershy. However, not an option as of now. You might have guessed it by the amount of time since we last saw her, but ever since that whole collapse thing kind of maybe proved a right, she's still pretty pissed at us for letting it happen. Until Frova noticed, she doesn't want anything to do with us. That fort problem is acute, though, so I can't allow myself to lose too much time there. Although, even though Starlight is a Mary Sue, I myself am also quite gifted with magic. Maybe I can also manage to do the TARDIS spell. Yeah, I think I'll try that.
And if it works, we'll become of the charity.
Well, that's gonna happen regardless.
What?
Hey, Canterlot can always use some more financial resources.
Alright, that fucking does it, Twilight. I would have been fine with this whole charity shit, cause it at least would have served some good, making the lives of some holders folks better. But if y'all do this, you're gonna lose the last moral grounds you're standing on. It ain't nothing but fraud, them.
Yes? Of course it is. Most charities are grow up.
No, they ain't, you fucking cunt. They serve the community. And how can you as a princess dare to be so immoral and greedy? I really thought you were better than this. I mean, seriously.
Okay, looks like that's gonna go on for some minutes. I'll be honest, I'm not in a mood to get lectured like this. Good thing I recently read about this skip ahead spell. Perfect time to use it. Alright, 5 minutes to the future, please.